In one of the harshest places on Earth, survival often comes down to a single advantage: the ability to stay unseen. Across the Arctic tundra, the landscape transforms dramatically every year, shifting from endless white snowfields to rocky brown terrain dotted with moss and low plants. Yet somehow, one small predator seems to match both versions of the world almost perfectly. So how does that happen? How can the same animal appear bright white in one season and brown or gray in another? Today we're exploring how Arctic foxes change color with the seasons and the remarkable biology behind this transformation. Right here, on History of Simple Things. The Arctic fox is famous for its dramatic seasonal color change. During the long Arctic winter, most individuals grow a thick white coat that blends almost perfectly with snow-covered terrain. When spring and summer arrive and the snow melts, the fox replaces that coat with darker fur that is typically brown or gray. This transformation helps the fox remain hidden in two completely different environments across the year. In winter, white fur allows the fox to disappear against snow and ice, protecting it from predators while also helping it sneak up on prey like lemmings and voles. In summer, when the ground becomes rocky and brown, darker fur provides camouflage against soil, tundra plants, and exposed stone. This seasonal disguise is a crucial survival strategy in one of the harshest ecosystems on Earth. Surprisingly, the Arctic fox does not change color because of temperature alone. The main trigger for the transformation is the changing length of daylight throughout the year, a biological cue known as photoperiod. As the days grow shorter in autumn, the fox's body detects the reduced sunlight and begins preparing for winter. Hormonal changes then trigger the growth of the white winter coat. When spring arrives and daylight increases, the process reverses. The fox begins shedding its winter fur and growing a darker summer coat instead. This seasonal timing allows the fox's appearance to match the environment as snow arrives or disappears. While temperature may influence the speed of the change, the light cycle is the primary signal controlling the fox's internal seasonal clock. The visible color shift happens through a process called molting. Rather than changing the color of individual hairs, the Arctic fox gradually sheds its old coat and replaces it with new fur. This process typically begins in spring, when the fox starts losing its thick white winter coat. Over several weeks, shorter and darker hairs grow in its place. By early summer, the transformation is usually complete, and the fox now wears a brown or gray coat suited for the tundra landscape. Later in the year, the process happens again in reverse. As autumn approaches, darker hairs are shed and replaced with dense white fur that continues growing until early winter. Molting takes time and energy, but it allows the fox to maintain effective camouflage all year long. At the microscopic level, the color of the Arctic fox's fur is controlled by a pigment called melanin. Melanin is responsible for darker shades such as brown, gray, or black in animal hair and skin. During the summer coat growth, the fox's hair follicles produce melanin, giving the fur its darker color that blends into tundra landscapes. In winter, however, melanin production is greatly reduced or stopped altogether. Without pigment, the new hairs appear white. This lack of melanin doesn't just change the fox's color. It also affects the structure of the hair itself, helping trap air and improve insulation against extreme cold. Through this pigment control system, the fox can effectively switch between dark and white coats as new fur grows. Although camouflage is the most obvious benefit of seasonal color change, the Arctic fox's coat transformation also plays a role in temperature regulation. The winter coat is much thicker and denser than the summer coat, helping the fox survive temperatures that can drop below -50 degrees Celsius. The dense fur traps warm air close to the body and protects the animal from icy winds. When summer arrives, a thinner coat replaces it, preventing overheating during the warmer months, while the darker summer color may absorb slightly more heat from sunlight. The primary purpose of the seasonal coat shift is maintaining a balance between insulation in winter and cooling in summer. Most Arctic foxes follow the classic pattern of white in winter and brown or gray in summer, but there is an important exception known as the blue morph. These foxes keep a darker bluish-gray coat throughout the year and do not undergo the same dramatic seasonal color change. The blue morph is more common in coastal regions and islands where snow cover may be less consistent. In such areas, staying dark can actually provide better camouflage than turning white. This variation shows that the fox's appearance is influenced by genetics as well as environment. Over time, natural selection has shaped different color strategies, depending on the landscape where the animals live. The Arctic fox's seasonal color change is a reminder that survival in extreme environments often depends on precise timing and subtle adaptations. Instead of simply reacting to weather, the fox follows a built-in biological rhythm tied to the changing light of the Arctic year. Its coat quietly prepares it for a world that never stays the same for long. What looks like a simple shift in color is actually a finely tuned strategy shaped by generations of life on the tundra. In a place where the landscape can transform completely between seasons, the Arctic fox has evolved to transform with it. And that ability is one of the reasons this small predator continues to thrive in one of the planet's most demanding environments. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.